Alright, so Oleksandr Usyk, Tyson Fury, we're less than a month away. Honestly, I think what are we? We're roughly a little over 3 weeks away. It's coming close. And look, I can't wait for this fight. I'm really excited for it. I think it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be a great spectacle as much as a fight. We're going to see the first heavyweight undisputed champion in the four belt era. We're also going to see the first heavyweight undisputed champion, unless it's a draw. God forbid. Well, God forbid. We'll see the first heavyweight champion undisputed since Lennox Lewis in 1999. Now, there's a lot to talk about this fight. We'll go into that in separate videos. But for now, I want to focus on the sparring partner specifically for Oleksandr Usyk. With Tyson Fury, we know we had Apataya in, sparred those 5 rounds. Don't know what happened. Let's wait and see if anything else comes up about that. But he's also got young Moses Atelma in there, who has been looking very good in his early pro career. Tyson has been speaking very highly of Atelma even before this. So he obviously knows talent when he sees it. Tyson Fury certainly has talent in there in sparring with Moses Atelma. But I want to talk about Oleksandr Usyk sparring. Now, I looked at a couple of his sparring partners. I have a little bit about them here. And for some people, they'll be saying, with the exception of maybe one name, they'll be saying, they're not really, they're not really well known. Their records are not amazing. And I would say, yeah, but a lot of times with sparring, they're not really getting the best of the best. I mean, you'll never see, a top heavyweight sparring, he's getting ready to fight one guy in the top 5 and he's got other top 4 in there sparring. It's not normally like that. You're trying to get multiple people in most cases, to replicate what that person you're fighting is going to be doing, or at least try and take. You're never going to maybe be able to get one guy to do the exact same thing. At least try and get guys who have elements of it. So you're kind of right, with this guy I have the footwork, with this guy I have the punching power, with this guy I have the reach, stuff like that, so you can kind of be ready for the whole piece of the puzzle when you meet them on fight night. And there's also fighters who perform incredibly in the gym. I mean, they will give the fighter they're sparring in the gym harder rounds than the fighter will have on fight night. But if they fought in a professional ring, it's a different story. Why is that? Because a lot of fighters are gym fighters. They can do it fine behind closed doors. They can produce all the goods. They can look $1 million. And then the lights, the cameras, the crowd, everything. And they just fall flat. Maybe it's a mental thing. I don't know. But you often see those. You hear of these, they're great sparring partners. But then you see them on fight night and you're like, really? Anyway, I want to talk about some of the guys Usyk has in camp. Now, here's the first guy he has, a 6'8" heavyweight. Now, his record is only 7-1, 25-year-old Serbian. And basically, his name is, I'm probably going to get these names wrong, by the way. Very wrong. Senal Hasovskis, I think is how you say that guy's name. Look at this guy on BoxRec. He's 25 years old, he's quite young, 6'8" tall. Actually, 6'8.5". So, Tyson Fury, some doubt the validity of his actual height, whether he is a legit 6'9". Some would say he's actually closer to 6'7", 6'8". Either way, this guy is apparently 6'8", so he is going to be tall, and he is a decent, at least in terms of dimensions, you're going to get something good there. So that's the first guy Usyk is sparring. The second guy Usyk is sparring, everyone watching this video, you'll all know this guy. I don't really need to go over him too much. Mariusz Wach. Mariusz Wach is the quintessential sparring partner. He's a gatekeeper heavyweight. He's been in there with loads of people. Dylan White, he's been in there with Klitschko. I think Klitschko might have given him, if it wasn't his first loss, it might have been his second loss, Vladimir. And that was where we seen how good Mariusz Wach's chin is. I mean, he is a very, very flawed heavyweight, but he may very well have the best chin of heavyweight, because Klitschko, the same right hands that dropped Joshua and had him on wobbly legs, Mariusz Wach was eating them left, right and centre. I mean, it's really remarkable. And going back to even when David Haye was getting ready to fight Fury, obviously that fight never happened. He was one of David Haye's chief sparring partners. He's always been brought in as a sparring partner. I think Joshua's had him in for sparring. Obviously, he's fought in the UK several times. He fought Bacoli. He's fought Dylan White. Honestly, Marius Wack, who hasn't he been in there with? He's been in there with absolutely everyone, and he's known for being a good. Now he is 44 years old, incredibly. He's still knocking around 44 years old, but he's in there with Team Usyk. I guess obviously you are reaching up. He's probably a little bit short than Tyson Fury. He's still a very, very big man, but he will take a serious amount of punishment. And I wonder if, to be honest with you, one of the names who is missing from this list, I think Lawrence Okolie missed the trick with. Although he's not as tall as Tyson Fury, and he certainly isn't, Lawrence Okolie, for just awkwardness, and when it gets up close, if Tyson Fury is looking to be, the bully and try and push Usyk back and clinch him, Lawrence Okolie will be the guy I'd be picking. Because he literally, he's not as tall as Fury, but he's awkward, he's got those long limbs, and then he'll try and wrap you up and nullify you. That's kind of what you need if Fury is going to fight the fight we think he's going to fight. That's just on a side note. Next sparring partner, Emmanuel Odessi. I think it's how it says here. It says a far more experienced training with the best goes. He's hard to beat. Okay. He only made his debut in October, and that was a second round KO. Guy is 260 pounds. Doesn't actually have his height listed on BoxRec, German-based heavyweight. Interestingly, though, it doesn't have his height listed on BoxRec, but he has worked with the likes of Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, and Derek Chisora. He actually was also in camp with Oleksandr Usyk, getting him ready for Daniel Dubois. And I think Usyk looked very good against Dubois. I know a lot of people say, they thought he looked. No, I thought it was a good performance, a very good performance. And obviously, if he was in camp with Usyk for that fight, he's been kept in. Usyk's obviously seen something. Next of all is his fellow countryman, whose name is extremely, even if I try and pronounce it, I'm going to say it wrong. Oh my God. Katsuk is his last name, but the first name, honestly, I'm not even going to go there. No disrespect, but I'm going to do a very, very bad job of it. This guy is a 35-year-old, worked with Klitschko in the past. His record is only 5-1. He did previously work with Robert Helenius in preparation for his fight with Deontay Wilder in 2022. Yeah, that didn't really do an awful lot of good. But this guy here, 35 years old. He is still active. Only made his professional debut in 2019. Had 3 fights that year, and then obviously didn't fight again until 2023. So he had 4 years of inactivity. Doesn't have the height listed. I would imagine these are all 6'5" and above, definitely. But doesn't appear to be a particularly big puncher, because his first 3 wins were all points decisions. Got his first knockout in May of last year. Lost to a guy called Peter Lash, who was 6-0 over 6 rounds. Lost every round actually on these judges' scorecards. Not a particularly big heavyweight in terms of size, 231. He was weighing in that fight. And then obviously he had a first round knockout win back there in November. I wonder what that Peter Lash guy is like. Polish, 25 years old, 5'11" heavyweight. Oh, there are not too many of them. That's gonna be a challenge for this guy if you're 5'11" tall fighting a heavyweight and you're only weighing 221 pounds in some fights. That's gonna be a challenge, to say the least. But they're the guys Oleksandr Usyk has in sparring. It's interesting. I wonder, I'll have to really have a good look at those guys, because I'm wondering what they really bring to the table. Obviously, you're talking about that guy who, Emmanuel Odessi, I think you say his name is. If you had him in camp with Dubois, he's obviously happy enough to keep him in again. And as I said, I thought Usyk looked good in that fight. So obviously his sparring partners, he was obviously feeling comfy in them. So it's going to be interesting to see how these get him ready for Tyson Fury. Because believe me, we look at these guys' box record, we say okay, only one of them has a record, or whatever. There's only 1-0, but you probably look at them on fight night and think, yeah, I can see how that guy would help. And then bear in mind, we don't know how good they are in the gym. These guys could be revelations in the gym, just can't turn it on fight night. But there are some of the guys that Oleksandr Usyk is fighting. Let me know what your thoughts are. Who do you think, right? I know we're kind of in the back end now, and they're probably going to be winding down camp, but do you think that Team Usyk, the likes of a Lawrence Okolie, would have paid much more dividends? Let me know in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed the video. Lads, I have tried to record this. This is about my 6th attempt at recording this. I don't know if this video is just cursed or what, But I have been trying the last hour, and every single time I having to take, no, stop, start, go, stop. I've done this one in one take. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good, because it was starting to get, I'm trying to do another video as well at the same time, and it's like, it ain't happening tonight. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. I hope you enjoyed the video, people. Smash the like button if you could, and subscribe, of course, as always, if you haven't already. For now, lads and lassies, peace.